to the SET Digital Roadshow for the third quarter result of the 2020 within PTT Global Chemical or PTTGC. Before we go for the presentation, we would like to preempt on our sustainability development. This year, we ranked for the first place for the sustainability for the DJSI chemical sector for the second consecutive years, and for ourselves, we are the world member in the chemical sector for the 8th consecutive years for the DJSI. That is a commitment for the company in terms of the sustainable development. Today we will cover in 3 parts briefly on the financial result, our strategic direction, and market outlook. For the financial result, you might already see the announcement of the result that we do early of this month. Starting with the left-hand side on the revenue, the revenue is slightly increased by 10% from the previous quarter to 76 billion Thai baht. The major factor that support the increasing in the revenue is mainly from the oil price and the petrochemical price. As you see that in the third quarter, the oil price is increased from the average of $30 per barrel in the second quarter to be the $43 per barrel in the third quarter, and this is the key support in terms of the revenue growth. For the adjusted EBITDA is slightly decreased from the previous quarter to be 6.2 billion Thai baht. If you look on the adjusted EBITDA contribution by business unit on the right hand side, you will see that there will be a slightly decrease in the adjusted EBITDA. But if we look at the key major sector like olefin and derivative, aromatics, and refinery, which in the dark blue, purple, and red, you will see that it's almost the same level. Refinery and aromatic is decreased from the previous quarter. Meanwhile, it's offset by increasing of the olefin change. For the refinery, the production is slightly decreased from 102% of utilization rate in the second quarter to be 94% in the third quarter. This mainly affect from slowdown in the market. For the aromatic as well, the utilization rate is decreased from 99 to 90%. But for the aromatic, is mainly from the plant maintenance shutdown in the third quarter that make the utilization rate of the aromatics drop from the second quarter. If you look at the spread and the GRM, for the refinery, GRM is decreased from $2.31 per barrel in the second quarter to be $1.22 per barrel in the third quarter. The main reason is from soften in almost all the major products, especially the gas oil and fuel oils, which have an impact from the COVID-19 situation, and they have a lock up in many major areas in the world. For the aromatics, P2F is decreased to be $78 per ton. This mainly from decreasing in the spread of both PX and benzene. However, if we look at the olefin chain, the polyethylene products selling volume is increased from the previous quarter, and the price is significantly improved from average of the polyethylene price of $793 per ton to be $928 per ton for the polyethylene, and that make the adjusted EBITDA is quite significant improved from the olefin chain, and that make the 3 major sector to be quite equal performance. For the rest of the business, for The blue one, the light blue, the performance material is slightly decreased. The main contribution is from the phenol chain that in the second quarter, the spread is quite a significant high, around P2F of the phenol is around 600 comparing with the 400 in the third quarter. And this is the reason why the adjusted EBITDA is slightly decreased from the previous quarter. For the detail of the major product on this page, I would like to highlight on the bottom left of the page for the refinery. You will see that in the yellow bar chart is the jet fuel. For the company, we try to adjust ourselves in order to encounter with the situation from the COVID-19 that demand for jet fuel is dropped from cease of the air transport. So comparing with the 2019 that we produced jet fuel about 15%, we implement the zero jet production since the second quarter. So far in the third quarter, we have quite a minimum sale volume of the jet fuel around 3%. And the 3% is mostly from the our inventory. So that's why we are able to manage our margin quite well and avoid the impact of the downturn from the jet demand. For the aromatics and the phenol change, the phenol change is the downstream of the aromatics by using benzene as a feedstock. So if we look at the bottom of the page on the bar chart in the pink and blue, you will see that in this quarter, the aromatics EBITDA margin is only 1%, but the phenol chain is about 26%. And this is the beauty of the PTTGC that we are able to extend our value chain to the downstream and help us to balance the margin of the company. Because for the benzene, then we produce half of it go as a phenol chain, and that help us to stabilize the margin. For the olefin and derivative, in this quarter, the HDPE price in the orange line is surging back to above $900 to be at $919 per ton, and that helped to support the EBITDA margin to be at 19%. Normally, when the price of the PE is at the $1,000 per ton level, the EBITDA will back to be like above 20 to 25%. It is a good sign for the olefin chain, which is the major chain for us. For the consolidated income statement, I would like to highlight some point on this page. On the line 2 and the line 6 of the fixed overhead and SG&A expense, if you look on the right-hand side of the 9-month performance, you will see that the fixed overhead cost plus the SG&A of this first 9 months this year is decreased from the first 9 months of last year about 37,000 million Thai baht. They have quite a significant decrease in our cost. The main issue is from the implement of our cost-saving measurement to ensure that we are lean our process and save any expense that we are able to manage. Apart from that, they have some extra item in 2019 about 900 million Thai baht for the booking of extra expense from the changing of the labor cost, labor law that impact to the employee benefit. And they have changing in the ROU based on the accounting practice that changed the rental expense to be balance sheet item this year, and that impact to about 700 million Thai baht. So altogether, we are able to save roughly 2 billion Thai baht this year. That is a good sign for us that we try to implement all the measurements since the beginning of the year. Another key item is about line 9, about the net financial expense. You will see that the net financial expense in this quarter is about 2.3 billion Thai baht. That is quite a significant increase from the first 9 months of last year. The key reason is that the interest expense is increased because we are issuing a new Thai baht bond about 15 billion Thai baht, and we have drawn down additional loan in this year, roughly about 10 billion Thai baht for the first 9 months, and this is the key additional expense for the interest rate. Vice versa, the interest income is decreased based on the market situation. For the share of gain loss of the investment on line 11, this to be 2.2 billion Thai baht is a decrease from the first 9 months of the last year. This mainly from most of the petrochemical products that is softened based on the market demand, but there is some improvement in it, mostly from the demand from the bioplastic that we invest in the United States. The performance is quite increased. The demand for bioplastic is increased, and for the power business as well, that have improved in the performance. That's the key highlight on the page. For the outlook next year in 2020, we see that the global have experience of a slowdown in the economy. The GDP growth is in the negative growth, but in 2021 we expected that the market should gradually improve and the world GDP will be in the range of plus 4 to 5%. For the refinery, we anticipated that we already reached the bottom, especially in the third quarter, as we see that in the first half of the year they have a slowdown in the demand. They have built in the stockpile, and second half of this year the situation seems to be better, and next year if we have improved, especially in terms of the vaccine, the second half of the year might be more balanced and that will support the GRM to be improved. For the aromatics, this year they have quite pressure, especially from the PX product, because they have a new capacity to the market, roughly about 8 million ton, but the downstream of the PTA is only 6 million ton. And that's the reason why the market is expected the situation and the spread of the PX is actually decreased since late of last year, and it's continued to this year. But next year we expected that the market will be more eased as the PX supply to the market will be less, comparing with the new demand and new supply of the PTA, which is the downstream product of the PX. And that's the reason why we anticipate that the spread should be in the range of like $220 to $250 per ton for the PX. For the olefin, this year and next year will be quite under pressure for the new supply to the market, roughly 7 to 8 million ton per year. But this year demand is quite impact in terms of the demand growth because the COVID-19 situation. But based on the current situation of the negative demand growth, the price of the polyethylene is able to maintain at the range of like $900 to $1,000 per ton, and that's a good sign. And next year we expected that demand will recover, and that's the reason why we think that the PE price will be able to maintain like $950 per ton next year on average. Next year, the key highlight on the left-hand side is what we talking about is the thing that we have to keep our eye on, like a gradual recover of the economic, the petrochemical demand and the COVID impact, the crude oil price and U.S.-China trade policy that will have an impact to the market more or less. On the right-hand side is about ourselves. Next year, we will have additional capacity come to the market, and that help us to increase our nameplate capacity about 10%. It's mostly from our new cracker, new naphtha cracker, or the olefin reconfiguration, or the ORP, that will give additional olefin of say 150,000 tons of the olefin that are split to be 500,000 tons of the ethylene and 250,000 tons of the propylene. We also have PO, propylene oxide, and the polyol, which is the downstream of the propylene chain. That is a material for the polyurethane. For the utilization rate, next year it will be improved. The refinery is expected to be 103% from the increasing in the demand in the market. Aromatics, next year there will be no plant shutdown, so it's back to be 103%. For the olefin to be 95%, but this slightly decreased because there will be one major shutdown of our olefin plant. But in terms of absolute number of the olefin production will be increased because we will have a new capacity from the ORP. And for the polymer, it will be maintained as like 105%. So altogether, that's expected that the top line growth for the revenue will be roughly about 9 to 10%. That's the overall for the financial result. In terms of the strategic direction, the company is still focused on the 3 key steps of the company that we call step change, step out, and step up. In terms of the concept, step change is about to enhance our competitiveness of the existing asset. We focus in terms of the operational excellence, synergy, and integration in the company, and to develop the market of the existing product. The step out is about the strategy that we try to capture a new growth opportunity and to become a global player, so that we will focus in terms of investment in a new area of the product, especially what we call the high value business product or the specialty through the M&A strategy. And another key strategy is about the second home base. That means that we try to focus and find the location that we will invest to have a competitive advantage in the area. Currently, we are readiness for the decision for the deal. Lastly, is about step up. It's about driving our business sustainability that we focus in our climate and water leadership, circular economy, and to transform the CSR model to be a social enterprise model. In parallel, in the bottom, you will see that we try to transform our organization through the digital process that we will touch later on. To give you more color in terms of each strategy, the step change start from the left-hand side that we try to focus in terms of the operational excellence, that we focus in the safety, that we employ the DuPont model that we do for the operational discipline for many years, and we have planned to implement and roll out in the next 2 years to ensure that we be at the standard of the first quartile safety. In terms of the competitiveness enhancement, we try to implement many projects inside in order to find a synergy, to do the cost minimize, and to streamline the process to ensure that we are able to integrate throughout the organization in both terms of the value chain enhancement, utility, logistics, and the water management. One of the key things that we try to do is what we call the upstream resilience, that we increase the flexibility of the feedstock by having the fifth cracker, olefin cracker, that what we call ORP. In the past, we have 4 olefin cracker, 3 is a gas cracker, and 1 is a naphtha cracker. Now we add another one of the naphtha cracker by utilize all the surplus naphtha that from refinery and aromatics to feed in feedstock for this cracker, and that help us to have more flexibility in terms of the feedstock usage. On the right hand side is about the market focus. We try to enhance our existing polyethylene business by to be focused more in the high value product or what we call HPT. It's a strategy that we try to enhance our product to penetrate into high key growth area like flexible packaging, roto molding, piping and cap and closure, as well as expand to the market in the Southeast Asia. That will give us additional margin and have more resilience to the cycle. Currently, we have this kind of product, about 29% in the polymer business. For the longer term, next 5 years, we will increase to be 64% in the future. Another key example is what we already touched, is to extend the value chain to the high value product of the polyol by using the propylene chain. The next strategy is about the step out. Now we are focused in looking for the high value business through the M&A. Now we are target for the good asset that up and running and have a profitable once we are enter the deal. We are focused in the two key business area of the high performance and polymer business and the coating and adhesive. That is the two key area that we foresee as a high potential and resilient throughout the cycle. We are now in the middle of the process to see and to negotiate on the contract. The benefit on having this business is will contribute the benefit and the profit to us right away to the M&A. Now the progress is quite a lot. We are able to identify and prioritize the target company. We have a team to take care and we have prepared the funding to participate for the deal. Lastly, it's about the strategic drive in terms of the step up strategy that we try to focus in the ESG framework for the climate and water. We have a target for the greenhouse gas reduction as well as integrated water management. For the circular economy, we try to be the first place end-to-end loop connecting in Thailand. One of the key example is we set up a new plant of the recycling company that will be complete by next year. That will help us to connect and have more networking with our partnership in the country in terms of the circular and the recycle. We try to look for the opportunity to expand our green business portfolio, which we have bioplastic in our portfolio now. In terms of the leadership, we still commit to maintain the first quartile in the top index. For the CSR, we will increase our social enterprise model in the future. That's all the three key strategy. In terms of the transformation, we try to do both organization transformation and digital transformation in parallel. For the organization, we try to transform our people, organization, and culture to support our future organization design. And for the digital transformation, we try to implement both in terms of the smart operation for our production unit and for the smart office for our work process. This year, we roll out the program, what we call the FIT project. On the left-hand side, you will see the name of the key project and the key process that we will implement through the digitized system. And you will see that it ranges from both in terms of the production unit to the supporting function. The objective is try to enhance our work efficiency, productivity, increase our agility and the risk minimize, as well as for the minimize the cost as well. The benefit that we expect is on the right hand side that we anticipate that to saving our FTE or the headcount to optimize our capital management, to have improved in terms of the revenue as well as the cost saving, and lastly for the transparency and enhancement for the governance. That's overall for the strategic direction. For the market outlook, as I already touched in the early that we think that the third quarter this year might be the bottom and will be gradually improved next year. On the left hand side, on the top left, you will see that the refined product margin. We expected that it should gradually improve, especially the green and the blue line. The green line is for the gas oil. That means that the commercial and the production activity will be resumed and will be improved. And for the gasoline in the blue line, it will be improved as the lockdown measurement seems to be have eased in terms of the situation. The right-hand side for the ethylene and the derivative, as mentioned, we expected the HDPE price will be increased maybe on average of like a $915 per ton next year. The market is quite resilient, even though during the COVID-19. For GC ourselves, we don't have any experience in terms of the slowdown of the demand, as the demand for the polyethylene is for the consumer packaging and for the hygiene concern that help to maintain the margin and the price and the volume of the product. For the paraxylene next year, as mentioned, we expected that it will be gradually improved as well as for the benzene as well. And that's the overall of the PTTGC in terms of the financial summarize, the strategic direction, and the market outlook. Back to the question. The crude oil outlooks next year for ourselves, the crude oil outlook, we expected that there will be a gradually improved next year from this year in the range of like $41 to $43 per barrel. Next year might be in the range of $42 to $47 per barrel. We expected that two factors will support. First is the recovery of the demand in the market. And second is the corroboration of the oil major is still there. So that will be the key support of the Dubai price next year. The joint venture performance so far on this page, on the line 11, you will see that the share gain loss from the investment for the first 9 months is softened, but it's mostly from the petrochemical side, especially from the polypropylene or the acrylonitrile business, which is softened comparing with last year. But in contrast, we see that they have increased and improved, especially for the bioplastic on the company that we invest in the US called NatureWorks. That is the major producer in the PLA, polylactic acid. There is a major bioplastic in the world that have improving in the product demand as well as the product price as well, because they are able to sell to the niche market. Next year, we think that this should be improved in the same trend as the global demand as well. From our view, how would the COVID-19 still impact for the whole year in 2021, and it will be better than 2020 or not? Of course, the impact of the COVID-19 is the things that we have to closely monitor the impact to our business. But as we see now, the olefin business is quite able to maintain and quite resilient to the situation. The selling volume of the polyethylene is quite improved from the previous year, and the price is gradually increased from the throughout the years and as well as next year. That's the reason why we think that next year the polyethylene might be one of the key improve in terms of the performance comparing with this year. For the aromatics and refinery, that might be one of the key things that we have to closely monitor, especially from the recovery of the demand. If the lockdown is improved as we expect, the refinery should gradually increase. But for the paraxylene, it might be and the aromatics chain might be under pressure for a while. In terms of the petrochemical products and the impact from COVID-19, actually, when we look at our production rate in the past, you will see that this year on the bottom right, you will see that the utilization rate of company in 2020 is still actually quite in a good shape, comparing with many producers in the world that they have news that they have some turn down or slow down in the production. Overall, the refinery, aromatics, and olefin chain this year is still run at quite the optimum and maximum rate. Especially for the olefin, they have high demand, especially for the consumer packaging, and they have additional demand from the hygiene product like safety gear. And during this period, the single-use plastic that have demand is coming back based on the safety and hygiene concern. So that's the reason why there is no significant impact to us in terms of the production. Comparing with many like a niche market product that for the automotive or the luxury good, they might have maybe more impact in terms of the slowdown in the demand and the production rate. For the expectation of the utilization rate actually is what we show on this page. The aromatics, even though they might have the concern for the market that is will be under pressure from the new supply, but next year we still anticipate that the aromatics change able to run at a maximum of 103%. As mentioned, for the chain that we do for the aromatics, we try to extend our value chain to the downstream that help us to stabilize our margin, especially for the benzene chain. For the benzene chain, even the spread of the benzene this year is not quite good, but half of the benzene is go as a feedstock for the phenol chain, which the margin is quite significant good, and that's why we think that that will be the key support. For the PX chain, we extend change to the downstream of PTA and PET, and that help to us to stabilize their margin as well. So that's the reason why when they have many plant production slow down in many areas in the world, especially during the narrow spread of the PX and benzene, we are able to run at normal rate. I think that might be all for the question that we have today. So for PTT Global Chemical, thank you for joining us, and see you next quarter. Thank you.